Hey guys, how are you doing? It's been a few weeks since my squeezer got released, and man was this video a blast. I just wanted to quickly thank you for all the support on this project, the positive feedback, and further questions in the comments. And even though I've already shared so much about the squeezer with you guys, we are still not done quite yet. And so our today's topics are the weapon matchups. We'll be covering every single main weapon that there is in Splatoon 2. And I'm doing this live, there's no script, I'll just go over all the weapons, over my perspective and my experience facing them, playing them, and we're not wasting any more time. We're on tiermaker.com, all links, and also the link to this exact tier list at the end of it will be down in the video description, so make sure to check it out and share your opinions as well. The categories I've set up for this is, at the top we'll have the squeezer, and then a safe kill facing a weapon that you're like almost sure to kill all the time when facing it. Then the next one is an easy fight where you're winning it most of the time, but there's like scenarios or specific setups in which you can possibly lose it. Then next up, an even matchup, a 50-50 situation where you can't say you're guaranteed to win or lose, it's just very situational based on all the surroundings. Up next, a 30-70 win ratio where you're not like, you don't want to go for the fight, but if you take it and you win it, your risk is worth the reward that you'll receive. But we'll get to that once we have the first weapon in that category, and it will become way more clear. And then all the way at the bottom, don't challenge weapons that are just likely to demolish you. You don't want to fight them, and you shouldn't. And let's just start. Weapons are sorted just like the way they're in game. Starting off with our shooters, we have the vanilla Splosh, good movement, but it's an easy fight, I'll say, because it's not guaranteed, because it can still like dodge your shots and just retreat. But with curlings and a very easy killable special, you're just most likely to win the fight anyways. Then Neo Splosh doesn't have mobility to support what the main weapon is, and it's just going to spam missiles, but when facing it, you're just killing it. Then Splosh 7, however, with Splat Bomb and Stamp, has a chance to give you a good fight. It can dodge your shots, and with Hammer, it can engage you as well, and also throw Splat Bombs to get a kill on you, so I'd say it's a more even matchup. Up next are 3 juniors, starting with the vanilla one, Splat Bomb armor, an annoying kid. The weapon is not that good at killing. Slow kill time, it has to get very close to you, but with armor and Splat Bombs, it has a chance, so I'll put it in the second category. Auto Bombs, Rain is not helping the weapon that much, you're just killing it right away. And K Junior, another interesting kid with torpedoes and bubbles. It can do pretty much your thing, but with less range, and it can close the gap between you and the weapon itself, but I don't say it's an even matchup. I think you're still better off killing it than the K Junior kills you. Then with Splash, Vanilla Splash, Toxic Mist, and Inkjet, it's a strong kid, but with the range it has and it being forced to use the Inkjet to like reach further opponents, it's still you have the upper hand in this fight. Unlike with its brother, the Neo version with burst bombs and suction bomb rush, it can close the distance, it has good movement, and with burst bomb it can also secure kills over further distance. It also has the opportunity to keep your bubble small by just of course shooting at him. The DPS of this weapon is stupid. And then suction bomb launcher can just delete your bubbles. So it's an even matchup, and once it gets close to you, the splash simply wins unless your RNG in the autofire mode is like godly. And we advance to the airspace. A lot of pain output, curling, rush, spam. It's annoying, but overall you're quite good killing it. I'd say it's not guaranteed it can dodge and just wall you out. The golden one, sprinkler, baller, you're killing that thing, I believe. It doesn't have too good movement, and baller can be shredded. And once it pops, it's just there waiting to get killed. The Booyah Bomb version with burst bombs, I put it in the same tier as the Silver Aerospray. It can survive for longer, it has more pain output, and it's a survivalist with its Booyah. But if it doesn't have the special ready, you can kill it, I believe. Moving on to our, I'd say, regular shooters. Vanilla Shot, Splashdown, of course, not the best special, but the main weapon plus burst bomb, the combination of it is quite good, but you're still most likely to win the fight, so it's another for our second category. Unlike T-Deck is a tough one. Splat Bomb, of course, good. The main weapon, good. It can close the distance, and it also has Inkjet, so you can work around dealing chip damage from multiple places, like throw a bomb and then use your Inkjet after, and you can trap the squeezer. But is it an even matchup? I think yes. I think yes. And K-Shot up next. One of the other meta dominating weapons at the current state of the game. Suction bomb and missiles. It's so annoying. Main weapon is strong. Suction bomb to kind of deal with bubbles is fine. If it runs object shredder, it can also keep your bubbles smaller. Missiles very annoying. So I'll put it in the same category, but it might not. It's not exactly 50-50. It might be 40-60 or 60-40, depending on the surroundings of the other 6 players in the lobby. But I think for the moment it's good to be placed here. Vanilla 52, Baller, and Point Sensor. Interesting kid. I think it's underrated, but where do I want to put it? I think it's an easier fight. It's not a safe kill, and it's not an even matchup. It's somewhere in the span between these two. It has good potential in close combat. Ray 52 is no, just no. Nah, get it out of here. The kid doesn't harmonize within itself. But here we have a troublemaker. You have a wall that just blocks everything, and you have a Booyah Bomb to stay alive. And it's hard to fight. It can push you for free, and with the 2-shot, it just happens. RNG is lucky, and within the blink of an eye, you're just gone. But if you happen to kill it, it's very impactful. You get rid of a very strong weapon. So I'll put it in the the first weapon in our risk reward section. And we're moving on to, we're covering a lot of strong weapons right now. Anzap with suction bomb and armor. A very solid supporter, a more than solid supporter. And I'd say it's an even matchup. It can be a T-Deck, but with armor to just fight. But if you keep it at range, it won't be too much of an harm to you or your teammates. 89 auto bomb missiles, not too strong. It can spam missiles, but that's pretty much it. So I'll just put it into the easy fight category. And on this thing, Sprinkler and Rain, I think it's also kind of underrated, but the skill ceiling isn't too high. And just going by run speed boosted, it can run fast, but that's pretty much all the fun things it can do. I'll just put it into a safe kill category. V-Pro, Rain and point sensor. I love this weapon, it's fun, but it's not too much of a problem. It's an easy fight. It has more range to get like closer to you, and also with MPU boosted 2-shot in the rain, it can kill you, but you're most likely to win the fight. Forage has bubbles and suction bomb, and with the range, you can argue it can just close the gap to you with bubbles. But from what I've seen, it's not going to do that very often, so I'll leave it here with the other pro. Then Kansas Splasher Pro, the more known weapon at the moment, but even though it's not used that often anymore. Booyah Bomb and Splat Bomb. 2-shot, of course. It's a more even matchup with its Splat Bomb and also Booyah Bomb to deal with your bubbles, but it's not exactly 50-50, I'd say. It's more, you have the advantage, you have a small advantage over it. Then the Armor Gel, Vanilla 1. Not used very often, fun supporter, but it just gets eaten by the meta at the moment. 2-shot, of course. Sprinkler, it won't be much of a problem, so we'll leave it here. And this gal as well, 96, it has the wall like the 52 here, and Splashdown to theoretically deal with bubbles, but RNG and how slow it shoots, it just gets screwed over, and no one's playing it anyways. Vanilla Jet also dominating the meta right now. It has a lot of range, it has good pain output, but it doesn't have a sub weapon like a lethal bomb. Missiles, however, are annoying, and I'll put it in an even matchup. Like, it can just keep you at range, and you're kind of stuck in this position where you want to fight it, but you can't quite reach it. And the same goes for C-Jet, but I think I want to put it into the risk reward section, because this weapon also has burst bomb. So it just throws a bomb at you, you have paint beneath your feet, and then it just starts shooting at you. And then you're not going to have a fun time. And now on to what Nintendo considers still shooters, but everyone from the Splatoon community obviously is like upset with them. Blasters. Vanilla Luna, Splat Bomb Baller. It's an easier fight. It doesn't paint that well, but once it gets to you, of course, 2 indirects and you're gone. Baller helps. Splat Bomb is quite fun as well, but besides that, that's pretty much it. This Luna is just screw it. We're not wasting any words on it. Fizzy Bombs, Rain. It's just spam. It won't do any more, and it has some kind of pain output, but it won't make any more use of it. It's just staying in the back. It's a backline. It's a backline blaster. so you have an easier time fighting it. Vanilla Blaster. The Fallen Blaster, once overused and then never seen again. Toxic Mist, Splashdown. It's lost all of its upsides. It's not doing that much anymore, and it's a safe kill. Not exactly 100-0, but you just keep it at range and then shoot once it splashdowns, and you're fine. Custom Blaster is an easy fight. It has at least the inkjet to kind of deal with you and reach you. Range Blasters by themselves have a better chance of fighting you, simply because they have range and need to indirect. So if they play smart around like objects and hide themselves to slowly close the gap, they're fine. But against this companion, you're still doing fine, because it doesn't have too good paint output. Suction is slow, it takes a lot of ink. Rain is fine, but you're just most likely to win the fight. Curling Bomb and Bubbles, it sounds fun, a lot of people have tried it, but it's not that strong. Unlike the Grim Range, it's an even matchup from my perspective. Burst Bomb and an indirect is enough to kill you, and that can happen faster than you like it to happen. And then also you have missiles to annoy you, force you to reposition. So this works quite well against Squeezer. Clash Blasters. they're both easy fights. Splat Bomb and Ray, it doesn't harmonize very well with a close range blaster. This thing at least has missiles, but besides that, the Curling Bomb in theory helps you closing the distance, but it's easy to track down and just aim at it, and you're winning against these. The Vanilla Rapid with Ink Mine and Splat Bomb Launcher, it's an easy fight, but I wouldn't track it down at the 80-20 ratio, more like a 70-30, 75, because of the main weapon. The kit itself doesn't mean too much. Of course, the Splat Bomb Launcher can deal with your bubbles, but the main reason this weapon is a closer fight, it's the main weapon. 3 indirects or 1 direct, 1 indirect can happen quite fast, and you're also stuck in ink if they aim at you and the paint is on the floor. I'll put the inkjet version in the same tier, even though it's a little bit stronger than this one with Suction Bomb as well. And then the Crepit, oh, I'm torn between these two. And oh, didn't want that. I put it in this tier because it's an even matchup for sure, and it's like the same ratio as this. For clarification, like, you won't have that much value killing it, so it's not the reward is missing, but the risk is there, because indirect damage from the torpedo, it has baller to stay alive, and then of course a strong main weapon against the Squeezer, almost matching its range. Which brings us to these two blasters. This one is an easier fight. Still, the main weapon is the reason it has a chance against Squeezer, but the kit with Rain and Toxic Mist isn't too strong. It helps situational, but it won't be too strong to fight against. Unlike this guy here, you have a wall to stay behind, and then you have armor to get some extra HP, and then on top of that, a strong main weapon. So you definitely have a chance fighting a Squeezer with this. Moving on to the category, the Squeezer belongs in itself, the semi-automatic weapons. Vanilla L3 Curling Bomb Baller is it's a it's the turf war meta, but besides that, no one's really using it. You can keep it at range, you can shred the baller, and it can't come that close using the curly bomb, so we'll leave it here. But the L3D, however, with burst bomb and inkjet, it's strong. It can definitely be dangerous. It can one burst you with the 99.9 MPU damage boost. But is it a risk reward weapon? You get rid of an inkjet if you kill it. Honestly, yeah, I'll put it here. I'll put it here. It can deal with you very well, and you get rid of an aggressive inkjet spammer, so it can be worth the effort. Then we have this fellow, the latest added L3, wall and stam. Not the best kid, but it can stay alive pretty well with it. The stam deals with bubbles, but you're most likely to win the fight anyways. Vanilla H3, point sensor missiles, a good supporter, not used very often, at least not anymore, but it won't be much of a problem, unlike the bigger brother L3D, H3D, my bad. Suction bomb and armor, and with MPU boost, you can just get shredded. And I want to put it here. I want to put it up here as well, because when I've been facing it, it's of course an even matchup, but also it has the armor to attach extra HP, and if you get rid of it, you're killing a 220p armor weapon, which can be very good for your team. Last of the H3 cherry version, wall and bubbles. In Split 1, a top tier, but it just died out. It can stay alive though, but it's still an easy fight. And just looking at this tier right now here, I want to make a small adjustment and put these two down here. Yeah, that looks better. Now we move on to the squeezers themselves, starting with the vanilla version. Another wall weapon, and Ray. Not used very often. It has potential, but it's limited. So I'll put it into a more easy fight section. And then the legendary duel, Squeezer against Squeezer. And yeah, it's of course an even matchup, just by it's the same main weapon, the same sub in special, but the reward sector is what puts it into this tier here, because you're getting rid of a bubble weapon, of a very strong, you get rid of a strong weapon. That's my point for this. And now on to another main weapon category. We're getting to the rollers and brushes. Vanilla carbon, it's an easy fight. Once it gets close to you, of course, it's a carbon, it will kill you, but this is quite easy to keep at range, unlike its deco version with burst bombs and auto bomb rush. But I still don't think it's an even matchup, so I'll leave it in this category. Vanilla roller, no. But is it a safe kill? Is it a safe kill? Yeah, we'll leave it there. This roller, it has potential, but it needs a lot of setup to work. And if it's not with its baller. It just gets stuck and you're just killing it right away. This has the exact same kit, it's just a different main weapon, like the Squeezer. It's an easy fight. It has the chance to live with bubbles and throw splat bombs at you, but you're winning the fight like 90% of the time. Moving on to the bigger rollers, Vanilla Dynamo, Ink Mine, and Ray. It's definitely an easy fight, but it has at least the range to challenge you. Gold Dynamo is stronger, also with extra HP, Splat Bomb to throw at you, but you're winning the fight most of the time. Kenza Dynamo, it's even stronger than Golden Dynamo, but still in the easy fight category. It has, of course, Booyah Bomb to stay alive and the range to challenge you, but besides that, it's just stuck, and with no ink, you're just shooting at it and it dies. Flingza Rollers, vanilla version, another wall weapon with a Splat Bomb launcher. It's an easy fight. I'm considering a safe kill, but with wall and spacing options from the bomb brush, we're fine to leave it here. Foil Flingza, I've used it myself. Suction bomb missiles. It's solid. It's just spam, but not an even matchup, I'd say. So it's an easy fight, but upper on the list of the weapons in here. And now Vanilla Brush, Splat Bomb, and Splashdown. It's not that much of a problem, and I think I'll give it to the safe kill section. Of course, it's a brush, it can run away from you, but besides that, it's weak. Unlike the other versions, we have Inkmine and Baller. This weapon can at least stall and close the distance, but it's far away from being an even matchup here. And with all the tiers slowly filling up, I think we can zoom out by 1. Yeah, that looks better for the overview. And Permanent Ink Brush, it's an underrated armor spammer. It can just get its special behind you, running around the map, but it's still not an even matchup. It's just annoying, but not that much more. Octobrush, Autobomb, Inkjet, it's an easier fight, but it's not exactly 80 to 20. It can get the kill on you with Inkjet, and this is a strong point. And once it's close to you, of course, the hitbox will most likely kill you, but until then, you have the upper hand in this fight. This thing is kind of useless. Beacons and missiles. It's a supporter kit on a weapon that wants to get kills and needs to get close to you. So it's a pretty much safe kill. On the Kenza version, we have Suction Bomb and Stamp. In theory, it sounds like it can deal pretty well with especially bubbles, but besides that, it's not that strong, and the main weapon, same category, or the same situation as the vanilla version. Moving on to chargers, starting with the Squivers vanilla version. It has armor, but is it an even matchup though? For the moment, I'm still considering I'll leave it here, but the ratio of obviously is not correct. Looking at the other sides, a Baller to stall out, Autobomb, and I think I want to switch these two up. Yeah, I'm fine with this. And then the Inkjet version, with Suction Bomb as well. And even though it does not have the extra HP as the other versions, I believe it's stronger because like a good tap shot and the inkjet afterwards and you're done. Suction Bomb to deal with your bubbles in some way, and it doesn't paint that bad, so it's a worthy opponent. Up next, the Vanilla Charger, unscoped. It's an easier fight, just like the Fire Fin. It has a wall to stand behind, but with 220, the oh, is it? Yeah, 220 point special won't be used that often, so you're fine with using your bubbles most of the time. This thing right here, put it down there. Same ratings for the scope versions. Of course, they have more range to deal with you, but they're trapped also in their vision when they're in scope, so this is the moment where you can aim at them and kill them. This thing still stays down here. Leader. And we also, of course, gotta keep in mind, it's just player-wise, it's an even matchup. Like, you have the Squeezer Pro on one side and then a leader or every weapon, a good player on it. So that isn't a factor. I want to put it here because it has so much range and it keeps you in range quite well. Also with ink mines placed quite well, and then you can use rain very often. This one, however, is an easier kill. It still has the range, but the kid won't do too much or won't deal too many problems to you. Scoped, however, it has less pain to use with, because the full chargers take more. It has the same problems that these have with the division being limited to some degree. So I'll put it here as well. And this one goes to its respective unscoped version. Then we're advancing to spicy weapon, a very spicy weapon. Bamboo MPU boosted 99.9 damage, one shot and you're out. And it can shoot fast and it can shoot a lot. And you're getting just aimed at and you're deleted. So this one, I believe, is a don't challenge it. Just don't do it. Leave the weapon for itself and only if it's distracted, but that obviously isn't a one-on-one situation in this case anymore. The other variants have not that strong hits, but the main weapon is still quite annoying. So I'll just move this one tier below, because it has Burst Bomb Rush, a fun special, which is quite underrated from my perspective. It can still deal with you, and of course, one burst bomb, one charge, and you're out. And this one, it has bubbles. The kit doesn't harmonize that well, so I'll put it another tier down. It's an even matchup, not exactly 50-50, but around that area. Gootuber, Splashdown, Suction Bomb can deal with bubbles, but besides that, it's quite useless, so it goes all the way down. Inkjet is better at dealing with you, the squeezer. Curling Bomb, not that strong. So yeah, we'll just also put it down here. And this brings us to a new weapon class, Sloshers. Vanilla version Suction Bomb missiles. Not too strong, so I'll consider it an easier fight. Sprinkler Baller is once it's out of its baller, it's kind of trapped and left there. So we'll make it. It's a pretty safe kill. Soda Slosher, Splat Bomb, Burst Bomb Rush, a very strong kid, and it can do work. It can do work, and it's an even matchup. Maybe even a small upper hand situational when it has its special ready. Try Slosher, Burst Bomb Armor, a strong kid, and this is definitely an even matchup. It can close the distance, which it needs. Like, it needs to be close to you to fight you. And then one Burst Bomb, one Slosh, and you're out. Try Slosher Nouveau, Splat Bomb Rain. Strong main weapon, but it's not in the same tier as the vanilla version, so we'll put it down to an easier fight at least. Vanilla Machine, the main weapon is strong, but the kit is kind of whack, so it's quite an easy kill. This thing, the Neo version with point sensor and Splat Bomb launcher, it's a bit stronger. It can space you out and still has a good main weapon, but it won't do too much work against you, so we leave it at an easier fight. K-Machine, however, has an annoying kid with fizzy bombs just thrown at you constantly, especially with LDE builds, and then the chance to deal with bubbles using splashdown, and then the main weapon is still strong, so it's definitely an even matchup. Blow Lover, Wall, Rain, annoying, but not that much more. Sprinkler and Suction Bomb Rush. That took me a second. It's better than its vanilla version, but it's not an even matchup, I'd say. It's just good at stalling and just spacing you out, but you can kill it once you have the right distance and the right setup to not get one blobbed. Explo with bubbles and sprinkler. Interesting kid, doesn't see that much use, so we'll make it an easier fight. Of course, the main weapon itself can deal with Squeezer quite well. It has the range to it, and with some setup behind walls, behind objects to protect itself, it can be problematic. This version especially has a baller to stay alive, so it just deals the damage to you and then balls away. So I'll put it as an even matchup. Mini Splatlings, onto a new weapon category. Burst Bomb and missiles, very, very strong, and I'd say it's an even matchup. It has less range, but of course the mobility, it's fast. It can just run into you and shred you. But before that, you just keep it at range, and also bubbles help against the main weapon in this case. Zinc Mini, it's not as strong as the vanilla version. The kit is fine, but it's not synchronizing that well as with Burst Bomb. K Mini, I wouldn't say it's a safe kill, but it's close to a safe kill. Toxic, Mist, and Hammer. In theory, it sounds quite fun, but it won't help you that much, to be honest. The vanilla Splatling with Sprinkler and Ray, not too much of a problem, because you have almost the range of Splatling, and with Sprinkler and Ray, it's nothing. These things won't help when charged at by a squeezer. The same goes for the Deco version. Even though it has a wall to kind of stay alive in bubbles, but the kit itself isn't harmonizing within itself, so it's also an easier target. Remix, however, with point sensor, it has a cheap sub weapon, and Booyah Bomb to stall and stay alive with, deal with your bubbles. I think it's an even matchup. And we move on to Hydra. And in my opinion, this main weapon is kind of broken. Not too much, but it's still annoyingly strong. Of course, this one has a terrible kit with auto bomb and splashdown, so just going by that, it's an easier fight. But if it is supported by ink mines and armor, like a very solid build for a backline, which also has a supporter aspect to it, this makes it very strong and puts it even up to a high risk reward. The DPS, the range, it's just too strong. But once you get rid of it, you have a good chance to like stay in the match, and also you get rid of an armor weapon. Moving on to the ballpoints. Vanilla version, Toxic Mist Inkjet, not that strong, so it's quite an easy fight. Nouveau version with beacons and rain, it's a bit stronger, but you're still having the upper hand. But it can deal better with you with rain to charge at you and have some sort of pain moving at you. So it's in more even matchup. Not exactly even. The knots, vanilla, baller, point sensor, not that strong. You can kill it, especially when it doesn't have the baller ready, or after the baller, you just trap it. However, the inkjet version with also suction bomb is a lot stronger, and it's definitely an even matchup. Inkjet can deal with you over more range. Suction bomb thrown at bubbles, it's 50-50 or around that area, sometimes stronger, sometimes a bit worse, depending on the setup around it. And we're getting down to our final two weapon classes, starting with Dualies. Beacons, Suction Bomb Rush. It's an easy fight. It can deal with your bubbles in some way, and it's fast. It can kind of close the gap between the two weapons, but it's having a hard time, so still an easy fight. This weapon here with the rain and toxic mist is just no. It's a safe kill for you. Just shoot at it and it can't do much. It can't space you. Even with the rain, it won't be too much of a problem. Torpedo and Splashdown, the strongest of the three kits, but still not too much of a problem, so it's an easier fight, but better than the vanilla version. Regular Dualies, Burst Bomb, and missiles. It works, but it won't be too much harm to you. Emperies with Inkjet are stronger. They can close the gap with also Curling Bomb. So we're making it an even matchup. It's in the same category, mainly because of the Inkjet, but it's not at 50-50. It's a bit below that. Here we have another baller weapon with Suction Bomb. It can work, but most of the time it won't, so still an easy fight. Then Glugas, this weapon right here, is just nope, get it out of here. Ink Mines and Inkjet, don't care. Baller and Wall, this thing can stay alive. but it's still an easy fight. You can track it down, and it's stuck after it rolls for like 10 seconds, what it feels like. So just aim at it, and you're fine. This thing is just throwing fizzy bombs at you. It's just annoying getting armor, but it won't do much more, so it's still an easy fight. These two things, however, are godly annoying. Missiles, point sensor, it's not too much of a problem by just going by the kit, but the main weapon is very, very strong. So this is definitely an even matchup, and this weapon already goes into the risk reward section just by the win-loss ratio, and this thing completes it. I'm not sure if I wanna even put it to don't challenge. I think we'll just put it here to make the bamboo not stand out by itself, so it doesn't feel lonely here. MPU boosted, 3-shot, it rolls, it kills you, it has good mobility to deal with you, and you have to tap shot it, and it's insanely hard to aim at. And with the kit, splat bombs being thrown at you, and rain to deal the chip damage it needs to 3-shot you, so you won't challenge it in a 1v1. You just don't want to. Tetras, odd bomb, splashdown, not too good, but I still think it's an even matchup. It has the rolls to kind of play with you, but after its 4th roll, it's an easy target. This thing, auto bomb rush, sprinkler, it's not doing much harm to you, so it's an easy fight. And our last and final category, Brellas. Tough one. Vanilla version, sprinkler rain, not the best kit, but the main weapon is the real problem. The Brella shield has a lot of HP, and you won't get rid of it by just tap shotting it, so it's already an even matchup. This thing is even stronger. It can deal with your bubbles using the splat bomb rush, but it's not a risk reward. We'll just leave these two here. As we advance to the 10 Brellas, camo version, it's just shocking behind your tent until someone gets close and then you stamp him. It's like the brain dead version of playing tent. I think I want to put it here, because you're getting rid of a stamp weapon, a strong distraction weapon, and it's not easy to fight, especially at range. You won't get rid of the shield in the first place. This thing here has the same attributes as this one, but the kit won't let it kill you, so this thing is pure stalling, so it's an even matchup. Also a bubble weapon. Latent spam, we all know it. Rainmaker pops via the curling bomb brush. Cool clips on Twitter, but not much more, but still an even matchup. You won't kill it that easily. And interesting last 3 weapons. Undercover Brella, often considered as one of the worst weapons in the entirety of the game, but just going or looking at them in a one-on-one situation up against the squeezer makes this weapon kind of strong, or like stronger than expected. This thing, of course, it's mass shit. Splat bomb and oh no, not even splat bomb. Ink mine and splashdown. Nah, this kid is not. We'll just ignore that. But these two, splat bomb, baller, it can stall you out and then just catch you at some point when your ink runs out after trying to shred first the shield, then the baller, and then the shield again. And same goes for this thing. It has torpedoes to annoy you, and then armor to stay alive, and it can just regenerate its shield like very fast. So these two they're good at stalling you out, and you won't just go for the kills on them. And these twos are mistakenly copied in twice, so ignore them. And we're done. We can try to get a view on all of them. Like this. The first doesn't matter, it's just for the squeezer on top. And take a look, this is our final tier list. We have quite a bunch of safe kills, then the big majority of weapons are easy to fight, then some more even matchups, and especially meta weapons are in this category. And then in the risk reward section we have a lot of familiar weapons that are high on just weapon tier lists by themselves. They are strong individually, and also in the matchup against the squeezer they have the upper hand. And then on the very top of weapons you don't really want to face bamboo, the vanilla bamboo, and the custom Dualies squelchers. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have different thoughts on it, different approaches, let me know. Do the tier list yourself, or at least the relevant sections. Send them to me and we might have a small discussion on it. And with that, make sure to like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see each other in another video. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.